All right, guys, we're going to go through the ESL process of marrying an ESL to an EIS and key. So I have a defective ESL, no communication. I was going to show you guys how to check the blocking codes and things like that. But let's just go through the basics of programming this guy in. Just like before, unprogrammed ESL, if it's an emulator, you're going to get 4 audible sounds from it when you insert a key. So that automatically should tell you that it's not programmed correctly. And the other thing is, if you're in the car and you're doing this, when you turn the key, you have no instrument cluster illumination. So let's go through the Pro. This is going to be based on the fact that you guys have already done a password search of the key. So I'm going to start from the password search window and build my file and go through that, just so we can go through all the basic steps. Okay, here we go. So password search, I did one yesterday, so let me go ahead and load my file. Best practice, always select the EIS type for the file that you're loading. So I'm going to load a BGA file. And I had gotten my password yesterday. Okay, so here's my password. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Go to EIS tools right here. Select 204, 207. And I'm going to select CAN high speed. I'm going to read the data. Okay, there's my information. I'm going to go ahead and paste in my password right here. So that is the last key of the puzzle we need. So we're going to go ahead and click our extended menu and save this. So I'm going to save this as EIS with pass. It's my file. Okay, now that that is saved, I'm going to go to my ESL tools, or EVL. Everybody has different acronyms of what they call it. So because this emulator is based on an NEC type, that's an NEC type steering lock. The early cars are Motorola chips. These ones are NEC. So you have to select that to be able to get a read out of it. So we're going to click ESL with NEC and read the data. Okay, just like before we mentioned on the regular Diagspeed, when you're looking at the status of the ESL, personalized and activation will never be checked on an emulator. It will only this will only be accurate if you're using a factory ESL, okay, a factory steering lock. Okay, so now we got a good read, so I have a good connection. I'm going to click on 204 to 12 right before I load my file. So now I'm going to load my file, click the extended menu, and I'm going to load the EZS format, 05. Here's the file I just saved. Click open. And then it's going to go on the server and reformat this file so that we can program our emulator or your steering lock. Either way, this process is the same. Okay, so now that it's in there, we're going to go ahead and click on Personalize ESL. And that should be it. Go ahead and read the data just to verify. At this point, if you were using a factory ESL, you would see Personalized right here, check marked. That means you have written the personalized data, which is the key hash, to this steering lock. And then as soon as you would insert the key, this steering lock should then activate and lock. So let's check and see on our emulator if we have any kind of audible change. So we should have one click in, one click out. Let's listen. One click, one click, one click, one click. Cool. We are done. One other thing I will tell you guys, if you are in the car and you want to see if you have an ESL that needs to be deblocked, this function will be done through the K line, so you don't have to desolder anything on the board. But to check deblocking, you would basically connect it. Either if you're in the car, you're going to connect your K line directly, right? Your K line lead directly in the car to the K line. Make sure K line is selected on your OBD. And then you're going to go into right here, it says ESL W204 special. Okay. So when you read it in this screen, I'm reading an emulator, so this is not going to be accurate. But you would have this blocked check mark right here. And when it's blocked, that means it's got a locked chip. So the only way to unlock the chip is to sit there and do the deblocking function, which is will be done by K-line here shortly. But for the most part, on board means you desolder the chip, put it in the cradle, and do it that way. This is where the deblocking function is done. Okay. So other than that, this is pretty much a very straightforward process, just like the other Diagspeed. Very similar in pretty much every single way. But you just want to go over and make sure you guys aren't confused at all with the interface. So, and that's it. So we're going to finish this one up and go on to the next one. Thanks, guys.